In today's world of job searching, everything is increasingly going online and becoming automated, from your applications to even someone reviewing your job application. So today we're going to talk about how you can get your CV past a Robo-checker, or ATS. Hello and welcome back to Max Talks. On this channel we like to talk about personal finance, personal development and job searching. So, you've seen the title, you've seen the intro. What is ATS? What does it stand for? ATS stands for Applicant Tracking System. Now, if you've ever applied for a job, I would hope that most people have, then you're aware of when you send off your application, it goes away to the magical company and they make a decision on whether they want to take your application further or not. What you may or may not be aware of is that a lot of the bigger companies and ones with bigger recruitment budgets, they will use automated robot tools or robo-checks called ATS, Applicant Tracking System. So why is it so important to understand what ATS is and how we can get past it? Because back in the olden days, your CV used to get sent off to a recruiter. They would spend a maximum of 7 seconds looking at it to see whether it fitted what they were looking for, and you'd either go in the bin or in the positive pile. With an ATS, this takes this recruitment step completely out of it. The robot or the Robo-check, the ATS, will scan your CV in a few seconds and work out whether your CV goes into the bin or the positive pile before it even reaches a person. So this is why it's absolutely essential to figure out how to get your CV past a Robo-check. So the first step in doing this is you can do your own little mini personalized Robo-check by matching your CV up with the job description. If you don't know what to put in your CV or how to lay out your CV, I've done a couple of videos on that already, which you can check out somewhere on the screen here. When you're looking at the job description, this is one of the essential parts because the job description is like your golden nugget. It's the holy grail of job searching because it explains exactly what the employer is looking for. If you use the job description and the person specification together, you should be able to pick out exactly what you should put on your CV. Of course, don't lie. So when you're looking through the job description and the person specification, it can be a bit overwhelming because there's a lot of information there. So how can you kind of break it down to make it manageable and understandable? What you can do is pick out the key words. So this might be the skills that they're looking for, the particular experience that they're looking for, any required software or like special skills. If you pick out all of these and put them into a little table or a list, and then if you use your CV, put both your CV here and the job description and person specification here, and if you do it like a tick list, so you see communication skills, tick, you see organization skills, tick. The more ticks that you can get, the better, because this is essentially what the ATS will be doing behind the scenes. It will be doing this, it will scan it in like a couple of seconds and say, does this candidate have the appropriate skills and experiences in software? If yes, we'll put it on to the next stage. If not, then you've missed a trick and you're going in the bin. Sorry. If you're still struggling for the keywords or the key skills and stuff, you can do a quick Google search. You can look at similar job roles. You can look on different recruitment sites, see what skills are required for the job that you're applying for. And this again comes with a clear indication of knowing the job that you're applying for, not randomly applying and spending time on each application to make it specific to that particular job. These tools are very, very powerful, and there's lots of websites which you can use which might kind of help you in passing through the Robo-check. And you can get like templates online. If you do a quick Google search or Google image search, then you can find some like ATS Robo-check friendly CV templates. And I'll go through a couple at the end, but there's also a few links in the description where you can find some for free. And also what I will say on this is don't lie about your skills, don't exaggerate about your skills and the keywords, because if you change like a keyword even slightly from what the Robo-check is looking for or from what the company is looking for, it might not pick it up. So it's really, really careful. It's really, really important that you get the exact keyword. So if it says like teamwork and you've written like, you miss out the O, so it says teamwork, then it probably won't pick it up and you might miss a few points as a result. So make sure that you spell check it, make sure that you get the correct keywords as well, and you know what you're looking for and that you have put them in there. And that way you have a great chance of passing that Robo-check. Next up is making sure that your job title is correct and that it's generic enough to be searchable. So for example, with a lot of different job adverts nowadays, if you search for certain job titles, it will make them sound better than they actually are. So my favorite example of this is Subway being a sandwich artist. Now, of course, there's nothing wrong with being a sandwich artist, but would an ATS, would a Robo-check pick up on sandwich artist? Would it be looking for that? It's unlikely. And while that is, that is the correct job title, that's what Subway call their staff. If you change it from that, then you might not have a good time of passing the ATS. You might have the relevant skills and experience, but if the ATS can't pick that up by it being searchable and by it being, generic enough, then again, you might go into that discard pile by accident. Oh, and also, definitely don't lie on your CV because you could get found out. I know there's plenty of examples where people have been found out because they lied on their CV. Another thing you may wish to consider with a ATS-friendly CV is not having any tables or charts or anything like that, because this can make it very, very difficult to read for the ATS. So just like text, keep it nice and simple. And the final thing before we go through some examples, so make sure you stick around for those examples, is the format. Now, obviously with a CV, you'd probably go for PDF or Word. So back in like 4 or 5 years ago, if you saved your CV in PDF format, then a Robo-check may not be able to pick up the keywords and stuff within that. However, I believe now that for the most part, that the ATSs and the Robo-checks are able to pick up those keywords within the PDFs. Now, if you are unsure and you're thinking about going Word document or PDF, the easiest thing you can do is to ask the employer and say would it be okay if I sent my CV in a PDF format if you want to do that? Personally, I would prefer you put in my CV in PDF format because it just means that there's no change in the formatting when it goes from one device to the other. I know one of my friends sent off their CV and because it's in a Word document, when they picked up at the other end, then everything was all on one page and the formatting was all jumbled up. So that's one of the dangers potentially of using a Word document CV. But then again, it depends on how much formatting you've done on it, if that makes sense. So if you're ever unsure, don't be afraid to ask the employer what they're after, because it might be that they only want the CV in PDF format or they only want the CV in Word format, and you may as well comply with your potential employer. So if we're looking at this bad example here of an ATS, this one is definitely not a good example because it's not going to pick up the keywords. It's not going to be good even if someone sees it, to be honest. It's just not a good example. This is not what you want to do. On the face of it, you might look at it and go, actually, that's not too bad. Let me show you some key points here. So first and foremost, under profile, he's written Sales Maestro. Now, as much as he might like to think he's a sales maestro, no ATS or no software is going to be picking up Sales Maestro. It's not a keyword that something's going to be looking for. Instead, they might be looking for sales associate or head salesperson or head of sales or experienced salesman, something along those lines. That is going to be what they're going to be looking at. Next, he's got a photo here. Again, employers tend not to like photos on CVs because it can lead to discrimination unless you're looking for a model job or something like that. But photos on CVs, generally speaking, are a no-go. Also, it's got a couple of graphics on here which look just really basic. So he's got this customer to Jugo to sales, which screams like a scam to me. I do quite like the skills one down here. That's quite nice. That's not too bad. Again, doesn't really have any justification for that though. That's what I would say on that one. And then this picture here, really, that just looks unprofessional to me. And then, in terms of his experience and stuff, that's fairly good. And Most other things are fairly okay, I guess. Like, got good experience and he's got some keywords on here, but they're not. Oh, he's also got keeping it cool down here. I've just noticed keeping it. Oh my goodness, 100% keeping it cool. Imagine that to your employer. So yeah, this one is not a good example. Let's have a look at a better example. So straight away on here, it's a lot simpler. This one maybe isn't as detailed as the other one, but it's just a template, so it's still pretty good. You've got nice, easy to read text, a bit of color on there to make it interesting and to liven it up. You've got some clear skills here: communication, retail, technical, like basic math skills, data collection, maintenance, customer queries, verbal and written communication skills. All of these are going to be picked up by an ATS straight away, and they're going to go, Molly, we want you. So this one is definitely a good one. It's got helpful nursing assistant, store assistant, volunteer. Everything is there that needs to be. It's only a one-page thing. I think this one's more of a resume than a CV, but the keywords are there, and that is like good. You've got no pictures, no graphics, nothing which is going to potentially disrupt the ATS. So those were my tips on how to get your CV past an ATS or a Robo-check. I hope this has been useful. Please share any other tips or things that I missed down below. I hope that you've enjoyed. Please feel free to give it a like rating. Subscribe below for new videos every single Sunday. Hit that bell for notifications, and I will see you in the next one.